after moving to Costa Rica, why do most people leave Costa Rica? Why don't they stay and live an amazing, happy life? Hi, my name is Muriel. I moved to Costa Rica in 2018. That means at this point, 7+ years, I am living in beautiful Costa Rica at the Nicoya Peninsula, and I'm here to inspire you and to tell you about the pros and cons of living in Costa Rica and why I feel that most people are leaving and how to solve that. Because unfortunately a lot of people leave Costa Rica again with pain in their hearts because they feel forced to leave again, not because they really want to leave Costa Rica again. And let me tell you first some advantages of living in Costa Rica, and then highlight the total disadvantages of living in Costa Rica, and hopefully you can benefit from this video. So first of all, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, just click the little icon here somewhere on the screen, tap the bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. That's always Costa Rica related, but first and foremost, if you want to come to Costa Rica, you want to learn what it is that I do and teach, and what the Be the Master movement is of free people all over the world who generate income online. That's what I teach, that's what I do. I teach by example. I have an online business and I'm a coach. Go check out the description below, tap one of the first links to learn more, so you're not relying on Airbnb or governments or whatever, just on yourself, job free, so you can live in Costa Rica. So first of all, of course, the advantages, the pros of living in Costa Rica. Look, it is November. I'm standing here. I just came from the gym. That is like 2 minutes from this beautiful beach. And yeah, I love to live in a warm country. Costa Rica is the whole year round warm of temperature. In November in the Netherlands, where I come from, everyone is wearing winter jackets. And here the temperature is always warm. If you live in the mountains, there are some areas where it's a little bit cooler. Of course, you need a little vest or something, but overall, Costa Rica is warm. For people with pain in their joints, older people, it's a delight. When Brooke's mom comes here to visit every year, she's like, oh, I don't feel my joints anymore. She's 84, and so yeah, that's a big advantage. Also, the culture is so different than where I come from and what I hear from people from the United States as well. The Netherlands, Belgium, United States of America, overall people are not so relaxed as the people who live in Costa Rica and love to live in Costa Rica, like the locals and the people who moved here a while ago. We are not really living a rushy life. If something happens and you're late, we say pura vida, it can happen. It's more a stress-free type of life, and we're living closer to nature. One of the reasons what I find a huge pro and why I moved to Costa Rica is that the wildlife is everywhere. You know, there's monkeys living in the trees, there's macaws flying over, there's all kinds of beautiful animals that I am used to seeing in the zoos. And I hate the zoos. I hate seeing animals being captured for the pleasure of other people. So that's a huge pro. For me, it was a dream when I became a mom to show my children the world and the wildlife and the animals just living pure as they should be in nature. And that's in Costa Rica. And that's what I remember also. To buy land and to build your house the way that you want it is more possible here than in Europe, where I come from. And yeah, just to be able to live on our own land as a foreigner, and we adopted a lot of dogs, pet rescues, cats. I see my children growing up with the example that their parents are making their money online, and we live in a country in Costa Rica, super chill, we can work from our hammock, and they grow up with animals, wild animals, and also pets. And I think that's a huge pro. Do you hear the macaws flying over? Oh my god, if you hear screams, the macaws, there are living a couple of macaws here at the beach side, really nice. Okay, but the disadvantages are a fact as well. Disadvantages of living in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is super expensive compared to other Central America and South American countries, and the area where I live, Santa Teresa, Montezuma, is super expensive compared to the rest of Costa Rica, and it's 2 to 3 times more expensive than in the Netherlands. Okay, so be aware, you have to earn more or drastically change your lifestyle and live on a huge budget if you do not change the way that you can generate your income. Also, disadvantage of Costa Rica, moving to Costa Rica, living in Costa Rica, is that as a foreigner, it's basically impossible to work in a legit way with a work permit. There are so many rules and regulations to work here with the right paperwork that it's not worth to go through the hurdles, because when you're able to work here legally, you just earn 3 to 5, maybe $6 per hour. You get like local wages, and that's basically what the local wages are, and that's high for standards here. So is that what you want? Is that how you can contribute to a family, raising a family here? I would not be able to do that. Or you want to live in a shed, which I don't want to do. Okay, so that's some big disadvantages. Also, a lot of people have a hard time with the slower logistics, like if you want to open a bank account, or you have a problem with your electricity and you have to make it work. It can take a day to a couple of days to get things fixed. And the very basic needs, water, electricity, and Wi-Fi, sometimes are gone here in the whole country, including the capital, San Jose. Sometimes you're out of water the whole day. Why? They're changing the pipes, they're cleaning the pump, I don't know. Sometimes we have a electricity gap. There's no electricity. You need to know this. If you have an Airbnb, if you have a restaurant, which I do not recommend as a major income, I feel that the best thing that you can do is to know exactly how to make a great living online from Costa Rica or anywhere in the world, because that gives you the flexibility to create your own schedule, to not depending on, oh, there's no electricity, now I have Airbnb guests, now they're gonna complain, now I need to give them partly a refund because, etc., etc. That happens, and that is hurtful for your income if you're relying on those type of income streams. So yeah, not having the water, electricity, Wi-Fi constantly is absolutely a disadvantage when you don't find a way to deal with that. Now, why am I still in Costa Rica after 7+ years? Because I just adjust. I am not depending on it, because my business allows me to earn even when I am not working. And that's the type of business I teach my students to build. Even if your laptop is closed and you're not on the phone whatsoever, that the income still can come in. Residual income online. And to learn more about it, just click one of the links down below. I dare to say that the biggest reasons for people to leave Costa Rica again after they moved here is money, is finances, and then especially the lack of finances. The lack of finances make it very troubleful to live here. That's the truth. You have growing up kids and you're relying on international schools. Count on a minimum, I mean a minimum of $500 per month for a child to go to an international school. And I'm not even talking about the transportation, like the school bus and the food plan and the books and the stuff and the field trips. It is a lot of money for most people. Now, we could afford it because we make, not to brag, but just to share, a great income online. We just paid the school money like about $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 per month for our 2 children. So if you're not making that one way or the other, you're screwed living in Costa Rica. So I don't want that for you. What I want for you is that you make a choice that feels good, but also I want you to know that the pros and cons of Costa Rica, like the slow, bad infrastructure, the roads are terrible, cost of living are super high, cost of transportation are super high. There is not public transport everywhere, especially not in towns like these. So you are depending on yourself. Those are all disadvantages. But the advantages is, look where I stand. I have an ADV, an all-terrain vehicle. I have 2 terrain-proof cars, and we have 2 motorbikes. We're a family of 4. Yes, that's a lot of vehicles. Yes, I also pay a lot of yearly cost for that, but that's how we can get from A to B. Are you aware that you need good transportation here for yourself, like a motorbike or an ADV or a car? And if you're not willing or able to afford that, and you just want to rely on good public transportation, probably this area is not for you. Maybe the San Jose area is something for you because there's a lot of Ubers there, but that's not this life. If you want to live in the jungle and the wildlife and you don't see monkeys in San Jose. I think it's not a pretty city, San Jose. It's not a nice place to live. Even also not the suburbs like Santa Ana or Escazú. Yeah, it's close by nature and stuff, but like I prefer this. So the pros and cons of living in Costa Rica, what counts for you depends on your wants and needs. If you're a little bit like me, you want to make a good income, solid income online. And how to get there is to have a solid understanding and a solid skill set and a solid mindset in the right proportions and combination. And that's how I replace my job, and that's what I teach my students. Now, if you want to learn more about how we have set up our business, there is a couple of links in the comments and below my video. Be curious and click it to learn more. Fill out your name and email, so I will follow up with you per email. And I'm not saying it's the way, but I'm just saying this way of building your business, how we have built it as Dutch people living 7+ years in Costa Rica, as foreigners, as tourists, with our own land, our own vehicles, and having grown up kids. I want it for you, and I am happy to help you. But you have to be willing to learn, because with the skill set and the mindset you have right now, you probably won't make it making your living online like I do. You need to just being able to adjust when things are not going the way that you want. You need to be able to let go when there's no electricity and you had a work appointment with someone or something. It's just what it is. So I think it's a natural balance of people coming and going. If everyone who would move to Costa Rica would stay, would be too full. So I'm actually happy that a lot of people are leaving again. Then it's not for you. And the people who stay are often people with a strong connection. We all understand the pros and cons of living in a country as Costa Rica. But with that being said, like I said, to wrap up this video, the biggest reason for people to leave Costa Rica eventually after moving here with or without a family is the lack of finances. They're depending on local work. They're depending on a job that they can also do from Costa Rica. Now they're losing their job, they're losing their income, they have to leave. And the lack of letting go. If you cannot let go of how you're used to live, where the water is always coming from the tap and where electricity is always there, and you are mentally like freaking out when there's a day of none of that, then Costa Rica is not the country for you. It is the country for me. I love it. I respect the locals. I always give back to the community in my own way, and I hope that you somehow learn something from this video. Like I said, there's a lot of information to find in my other videos, but also below this video specifically about how I've built my business online, the system and the program I use. Because I'm not talking about a trading time for money business online. I'm talking about a business that also works and is allowing you to earn residual income. That doesn't fall from the sky, but it's learnable. I've learned it. Maybe you want to learn it. Go get started and I will be happy to guide you, okay? Because I will not let you down. You don't have to do this by yourself. With that being said, this was Muriel from sunny Costa Rica. Let me know in the comments your questions or your thoughts, and see you in the next video. Bye.